You'll have a chance to experience a brand new play this week, one with themes familiar to people living in the North Country.
You have my eternal gratitude, but science cannot rest on old ideas. Medicine must change and grow and must move ever forward. Millions of lives are at stake. Humanity itself is at stake. I cannot always worry about my manners.
The Adirondack Lakes Center for the Arts presents the world premiere play, The Cure, an Adirondack Story, by Canton playwright Frederic Glover. The North Country cast and crew wrapped up final rehearsals this week and are ready for the first performances this weekend. The story focuses on a fictional character named Margaret, a writer from New York City. She's arrived in Saranac Lake seeking the cure for her case of tuberculosis at the famous Adirondack Cottage Sanitarium. Her story intertwines with the life and struggles of the physician who established the sanitarium, Dr. Edward Trudeau, who had passed away 20 years before Margaret's arrival. Themes in the play include the healing power of Adirondack living, the devastation of tuberculosis, and Dr. Trudeau's efforts to prevent and control the disease.
It tells the story of Margaret, the writer, and the Trudeaus. It compares them, and both of those individuals, by the end of the play, learn it is the journey, not necessarily the end for themselves, and that is how they judge their success. One of the characters, Dr. Loomis, towards the end of the show, is consoling Trudeau, saying, if we haven't found the cure, we have made progress. And so we have made it possible for other people to continue on to find a cure. They have to kind of assess their lives, and they have to come to understand that they have done the best they could. That's their success.
The fictional character of Margaret faces the wonders of romance during tough times and increasing threats of anti-Semitism.
We have the character of Margaret, who is a young Jewish person from New York who's come up to the Adirondacks for the cure. And she comes up in the 1930s, and she lives during the time, of course, the rise of Nazism and anti-Semitism and treatment of Jews in Europe, which she is very much concerned with. But this is something that speaks to us as well today in terms of world events and what we're having to deal with today.
The story is dramatic, with touches of comedy to lighten the mood. Producers say the work is appropriate for ages 12 and up. The play is a fictional and non-biographical piece, partly inspired by real people and events from the history of Saranac Lake.
This show is allowing us to reintroduce the figure of Edward Trudeau, to reintroduce this very important person to audiences across the Adirondacks. So we are realizing that goal by being able to tour to various venues across the Adirondacks with a wonderful cast of Adirondack actors.
It's a great play. It's a world premiere. It is great actors. If I do say so, some good direction and some great costumes and scenery. So people get to see an interesting story, well done, for the first time here in the Adirondacks.
The production opens at the Adirondack Lakes Center for the Arts in Blue Mountain Lake on Saturday, September 21st at 7:30 p.m. It's followed by performances in Old Forge, Tupper Lake, Saranac Lake, and North Creek. You'll find a performance schedule and ticket information at mountainlake.org. The Cure is the final production of the 2024 80K Lakes Theater Festival.